Everyone, I'm Kloo. We're back for some more Darkest Dungeon 2. I've already set up the team, so we're going with the Hellion, Leper, Plague Doctor, and Highwayman. The Highwayman's got Sharp Shot, so he's set to range, that's why he's at the back. Plague Doctor's Surgeon, melee skills, but mainly for the utility, although healing's not that functionally great, but we'll play around with it. The Leper's a Poet, which seems awful, but he's new, so we'll try him out. I guess he's tanky, but we want the Hellion in 1 because the Hellion's far better in 1 with its moveset, and she has Berserker, so bleed skills again. I think that's what we had last time as well. Sprayed Ankle, bit of a weird one. So it's more likely to move. Feels like it should be less. Sickly, Devout, Sprained Wrists, bit of an issue. Though if you 10% is not really significant. It's 1 point off essentially. Plus we get 100%, so it's even. Well, it's greater because it's 20% then 100%. Anyway, the Highwayman is perfect though. Unnearing, stage 2. I don't know what this is really called, and weak grip. So perfect for our range setup. Anyway, we're straight to it. Main goal: Hero Shrines. We are on the 2nd act, so I'm assuming new boss, but everything else stays the same. Maybe an increased difficulty. We'll see if this is
You came here
any
seeking
different.
solace, but found stagnation instead.
So far, I'm going to say no. It's still the same intro.
Karma
Unfortunately.
abhors waste. Best to take all you can.
There was an icebox or something there. No, it's not great. Food is a funny one in this because you don't need it. It's just a utility. So having it stacked more is not anything great, especially with the inventory constraint. Feels a lot more tight in this game. Because essentially you just need 4 for the run, because you'll find something by the time you get to the next inn. Having it stack is
The winds whip
not really a
harshly
convenience.
on the far side of the brook. To attempt and fail is no shameful thing.
Right, let's see how this team does. It's just because I have items to equip. Yeah. And yeah. Still something else? What you got for me? Conditions. Cool. Why are these just popping up now? Have I just never noticed that before? Right, let's see if we're at all strong. 3 to 6 is not enough. 5 to 10 is also not enough, but we'll have to do. Yeah, the leper to me just seems awful. Don't know why they've got blind. 8. Dot, perfect. Stress is fine.
Early results.
Alright, and yours will let down. Do we have any way to remove blind? We do. So, it just seems horrible. Or, I guess. And since it doesn't tick off either, it was a chance, right? And we got both. Yeah. Him and the...
Heavy hindrance.
His name. Sorry, Men at Arms, yeah. I don't feel like they really have a place. Because tanking is never a big thing in the game. You understand what they're going for, but there's no way... Because taunts don't really prioritize things, because, you know, backlines usually only have backlines, or certain things have only certain things, that having a taunt doesn't really matter. So wasting a turn not doing damage for an effect that might not have an effect is just pointless.
The familiar heart crackles invitingly once
I'm
again.
hoping the leper can do huge damage like he used to be able to, and the blindness offsets that, but 2 stacks of blindness right off the bat. Not great. I think his next unlock is Hugh, which is probably what we want most. I get more trinkets. Crappy ones.
Experience,
We're just gonna upgrade.
however painful, is the
Bleed out.
greatest teacher of all.
Most damage, crit up to 10. Or Iron Swan. I do like the Iron Swan combo generator, just to knock out the backline.
Your
Might as well
coach
equip
must
our
be maintained
crappy
if
food
it
box.
is to carry you where you must go.
I don't like fish people. I think burning's better.
Another nameless city. Another
items.
inferno of mutilation.
No point
and
not to use
madness.
them. Who's the least health? Alien, actually. Interesting. The Plague Doctor's pretty tanky. Right,
Behold.
map time.
The great cities of man.
I can't even decide because I don't know where everything leads.
flame.
Come on. Thank you.
Onward, while there is still time.
Center of the stagecoach, I guess, is what you do. So we'll go to the watchtower so we can try and find the hero shrines, that's what they're called.
Facing oblivion. These folk have
Use
kept their
torch.
honor.
I think we can get away
Have
with
you?
torch. I don't really think the items are worth it. Yeah, it's nothing really great. Right, what do you got for us? Oh, hero shrine, it's good. Two. Not too worried about whatever our requirement is without any upgrades mounted on the stagecoach. So we already lose that. That sucks. I should have read that. Yeah. Hero Shrine. Probably finish off the Hellion or the Highwayman. Yes, you hate going the wrong way.
Look ahead, Isle.
Right, to combat. Hopefully we can get through these a bit quicker than they have been. Nah, because it's a horrible pod. You can't. How much do you do? You do 6 to 11, so better off having you attack. We do have Wicked, God. We probably just want to hit the end guy more so than the one with dodge. Just grape shot or waste the leper. Come on, miss. At least it procs a dodge. But it doesn't get rid of our blind. Feel like they should trade. Grape shot. No, we'll just take the... What even are you? Female cultist. With the annoying clears. No one's blind when it'd be great except for the guard. Do you blow up this turn or next turn? Must be next turn.
A resounding response. A slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
Dodge again. No. Grape shot. The death blow. Incision. And then the 2 blind fellas get to miss away. Come on. We're gonna need grape shot first. Thank God.
The work continues.
That wasn't too bad. So he definitely shows that just doing as much damage as possible is the best course of action. Setup or tanking is just redundant. I think it was double tap. You don't know what was on the Hellion, so we'll probably do maybe Hugh. Having chop as the only attack is kind of meh.
Leper. Chapter 1. Shun them not. Despite the protestations of his royal advisor, he would visit with the sick and dying,
So I want to get to the front,
he could.
I think. Forward, 3. Given what they just said, I want them to infect me. That's another one where we just want to build stress. Maybe. Need more guidance. I have to get to 10 stress. Yeah. These are definitely way too slow. Well, that sucks. Grace? Alright. That's annoying. See, so all it says is foster the sick. Knowing that he needs to become the leper, you can sort of see how I got to the whole needs to be infected, but we need to hug them. I move back again. Or like a 2 times animation speed. Little button. That would be good too. Yay, same thing over and over again. And then we guess. I'm gonna say one of them impede me. 5 rounds. Oh, geesh. And I can't even get to the front. Yeah. So I stun them, move forward so they can't disrupt me. Thank you. Horrible, horrible.
The ailing and infirm were far less repulsive.
Hugh was
to him
second
than
on the
venomous
charts.
whispers of his
This is
scoffing
not Hugh.
entourage.
Granted, it seems like a direct upgrade of Chop. I wanted Hugh. No, it is not. It's significantly weaker. Just ignores block. That's horrible. Considering blind's a mechanic you have to get around. But it was ignore block and blind. Plus it has a chance to blind. They both have a chance to blind. The leper's terrible. Terrible, terrible design choice. I am kind of tempted just to phone it in. I can't even urge. Need being first. get rid of my blind. Just slogging through this game as it is in its current state, trying to go for all the unlocks. I'm pretty sure it's going to be more hassle than it's worth. Unfortunately. I just jump.
Steady yourself.
I might go back to DD1. Well, that way I can sort of compare the two. Art style, animation, everything on that side. Maybe the background could do with a little bit of work. Great. The systems in place, I think, fall short and need some sort of further balancing to really make them more coherent. Even maybe just a like squash of the HPs and armor or defense, whatever it is in this, just to make combat a bit quicker.
Let us hope their desperation can be eased.
What are the random encounters are set to 5 rounds, I think. So you're intended to clear it within 5 rounds. But that means 5 rounds in slow. And at the current state, you can't clear things, you know, in 1 or 2 rounds, unless you get extremely lucky. So I feel as though they need that little bit of a squash, just to try and get that target down. Let's see what we run into. Yeah, so this pod right now, 5 rounds to clear them is just hassle. I understand you can't trade 1 for 1, but at best you trade 4 for 2 or 4 for 1 in most circumstances. Like right now, all I can do is spread the damage out and hope that I get all the right numbers to kill everything. Which, yeah, nope. And I am using a fairly damage-heavy comp. Obviously, the Plague Doctor could be swapped out for the Grave Robber, the Man-Arms for the Jester, like the previous run, would probably be the most damage.
A righteous action.
Probably clear it in 3 or 4 rounds, which would be, you know, medium speed by this scale of 5.
Messy, but effective.
Can't even hit. The attack pools also seem kind of limited. All in all, I think the feel is just you are weaker. And it just slows everything down, where this game is not good in small batches.
Potency still lingers in
Like right now,
well-worn
it's 20 minutes of recording, say 25 minutes maybe of actual playtime. And we're not even halfway. That's just awful. We've got how many combats? I want that, so 1 combat, 2 combat, 3, unless we get an escape. Forces me over here, 4, 5. 5 more combats at least, plus the Guardian is 6. 6 combats that can take probably around 5 to 10 minutes a piece. So there's an extra half an hour just on this stage. And I understand the idea is to, you know, pause. Well, not pause. Is there even a... We can just exit game and saves, I guess. But that doesn't seem great. In fact, I am unfortunately gonna exit, because just doing that math in my head, in this current state, I can't pursue completing it. Simply because it's just an endless grind. I mean, thank God we only have 1 character left, but I'm gonna have to begin a new journey so we can go through things a bit better. Right, so we're back at the Crossroads, just so I can take a look. So, going directly for the hero shrines, throwing away chance at loot equipment, and progression in the sense of that single run to get progression overall on the account. You could get maybe 1 to 2 hero shrines a map, 4 maps. I guess you could farm if you don't go for the boss, but it's still about an hour to do a map, and you get 1 to 2. So we'll play it safe and we'll say 2. So this would be 2 hours, 3.5 hours, 4.5 hours, a whopping 7.5 hours, 8.5 hours, 11.5 hours, 12.5 hours. You can finally get rid of the half. It makes it 13, 14, 15, and then another 18 hours just to get all the skills. You could go to 1 hero shrine and just exit the run, I guess. Even then, you're probably cutting it down to 20 minutes, so 40 minutes per 2. So 1/3 less is still 12 hours. 12 hours to unlock, explore everything. Where I'm gonna exaggerate, but I'm gonna say 1/3 of that time is pushing forward on the carriage. It's just not fun at the moment. Secondly, the skills. Skills are another issue I have. This being locked in. So they're trying to give you diversity. The only way diversity works is if you have alternatives. You have alternatives in the sense of characters, but this is an alchemist. There's no way to cancel this. There's not the option to exchange it. It's just, this is the Plague Doctor if you want to run this run. And I think you could just abandon and continue to get a comp you like, but you're cycling through all the characters at once. There's no sense of attachment to any of them because, you know, there's nothing to them. They don't get upgraded, they don't stay upgraded, they don't, you know, become the characters you've chosen, you've built. It's just a roster that changes every time you have a run, and most of the time, a lot of things are just out of your control that makes them feel pointless. Runaway. So frontline burns health support. He has a damage up, essentially, because this is crit, if I'm correct, and a very low chance of crit, damage up perk. I think if they modified this a bit, so that you had your base characters and you unlock points or prestige, you know, from the previous run. So say you got to the boss. Clear the boss, you get X amount of prestige points. You start with a blank canvas on each character, and you can spend those points at this screen to determine their starting quirks, not perks, their starting quirks and this pathway. I think adding that ability to control and manipulate the characters a bit more would really be a salvaging factor towards the game. You know, you can create something that actually feels strong, rather than just going with whoever routinely is the strongest. Head injury. So you go last the majority of the time. Terrible. Light sensitive. Chatterbox, fine, nervous. Like, there's just lots of these that you don't have that problem in the first Darkest Dungeon, because quirks weren't as impactful. They were more little niche things that affected the character. There were some that obviously you wanted and you wanted to get rid of straight away, but the majority was, you know, lock out of this stress heal, cost more to do this, blah 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 blah. Whereas these are, you're weak, you need to stay at the back. You go last. So if I ran Plague Doctor, Alien, at least the Leper goes first, they automatically will, you know, 50% of the time go last. 100% for the Plague Doctor. And that's not what you want in a game where you're trying to defeat the enemy as quick as possible. And then for this whole guard, durable, riposte, every character is durable. I've never had a character die because they were so far below everyone else. So this little diversity, I don't think is correct. Self-sufficient doesn't really work either because of the gated healing. So the fact that everything's threshold based rather than, you know, you can manipulate how you want. Yes, it makes the game harder, but it was already a hard factor because you're giving up a turn of damage on the prospect that you can out-heal the next turn's damage. It just feels like they're trying to hone in on difficulty and forgetting a lot of the niche mechanics that made the first Darkest Dungeon more well-rounded. Because they haven't necessarily made it harder, they've just made it longer and less forgiving. Once I get to this threshold, I heal back to this threshold. So unless you can time it perfectly, you can't get this to an advantage. It's neutral. It's a neutral heal, meaning you don't change your position. So unless the opponent does nothing, you don't gain anything from it. It's a pointless turn. So why would you ever heal rather than just trying to kill the enemy and healing on the road or healing in the end? Anyway, I'm sorry for this little rant. I was hoping to kind of get a feel for it because it's been a couple of weeks since I last played. But just processing everything and thinking about it as we did this little foray, I just can't accept the game as it is currently, unfortunately. And all it makes me want to do is go back and play Darkest Dungeon 1. And that's not a great feeling. So I'm hoping they continue to tweak and work around to certain things. And it's funny, who was I watching? Filthy Robot. I found his channel because I wanted someone who was covering Darkest Dungeon 2 on its release. And I stopped watching for a bit, then I went back and he just stopped playing. And I always wondered why. Why did he stop playing? Because he seemed very invested in talking about the characters and everything like that. But now I know exactly why. Because it's the same sentiment I'm feeling, I can guarantee you. This game just burns you out way too quickly. And it needs to be in shorter, more accessible pieces, rather than these long 4-hour runs. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry this episode turned into a bit of a rant, but it is my conclusion to Darkest Dungeon, at least for now. So, thanks for watching the episodes if you did. Hope you enjoyed. Take everything I said with a grain of salt. You know, it's my opinion, it's not factual, it's not correct by any circumstance, it's just my opinion. Alright, see ya.